buttercup, you're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall, won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into this 2025 YouTube Content Creators Challenge that's been making the rounds.
Yeah.
And it's this pretty simple idea at its core. It's basically subscribe to my channel and I'll subscribe to yours.
Right.
And so on and so forth. And it sounds so simple.
Yeah.
But the question is, can something this simple actually make a real difference on YouTube?
Well, the interesting thing is that this challenge really highlights a very real problem that a lot of creators face, especially those who are just starting out. And that's visibility, or really the lack of it.
Right.
Have you ever noticed how YouTube seems to favor those big channels?
Absolutely. It's like trying to break into a conversation where everyone already knows each other.
Exactly. And it all comes down to the algorithm, that mysterious force behind what YouTube decides to show people.
Yeah.
And it just loves engagement. Things like watch time, likes, comments, shares.
Right.
Basically any sign that people are actually interested in the video.
Okay.
And the more engagement a channel gets, the more YouTube's like, hey, this is popular. We should show this to more people.
So this challenge is sort of like a way to hack the system.
Kind of.
By getting creators to support each other. So more subscriptions, more likes, more comments.
Yeah, it's like a signal boost for everyone involved.
Exactly.
And the more I think about it, the more I think this idea of cross-promotion is key.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine you're a creator who makes videos about, say, restoring vintage typewriters.
Okay.
And through this challenge, you connect with another creator who maybe makes videos about, vintage inks, or someone who collects antique office supplies. Suddenly you have this opportunity to introduce your audiences to something new.
That's such a cool point. It's like opening up a whole new world for people.
Right. And they might never have found that content otherwise.
Exactly. But beyond just the algorithm and the views, there's this whole community aspect to this challenge, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
YouTube has so much potential for connection, but it can also be a pretty lonely place.
Yeah, especially if you're just starting out.
Exactly. You're putting your work out there hoping people will see it.
Right.
But it's hard to stay motivated when you're not getting any feedback.
It's like you're talking to a wall sometimes.
It can feel that way.
Yeah.
So this challenge, by encouraging creators to support each other, it's almost like creating a safety net.
Okay.
It's about knowing that there are other people out there who understand your struggles.
Yeah.
Who are cheering you on and who genuinely want to see you succeed.
That's so important, especially in a field where burnout is so common. It's like having a built-in support group.
Exactly.
A team of people who get it. But I'm curious, does this work for everyone?
That's a good question.
YouTube is such a massive platform with so many different types of creators.
Right, and that's something we should definitely talk about.
Okay.
Because while this challenge has incredible potential, there are also some downsides.
Got it. So let's dig into that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential here, but let's get practical.
Sure.
How does this actually help creators, especially those who are just starting out?
Well, one of the toughest things when you're new to YouTube is just getting that initial momentum.
Yeah.
You might be making great content, but how do you even get those first few subscribers, those first few views?
Right. It's like you're throwing a party and no one's shown up yet.
Exactly. And that's where this challenge can be so helpful.
Okay.
It's like having a built-in group of people who are willing to give you a chance to check out your content and offer that early support.
Okay. So it's like that initial boost to help get things going. But is it just about getting started?
Oh, not at all.
Or could this challenge actually help creators grow in the long run?
Let's say you've been creating for a while.
Okay.
You found your niche. You're making videos about, maybe restoring vintage typewriters.
Okay, I love that. That's so niche.
Right. And through this challenge, you connect with other creators who are into similar things.
Okay. Maybe someone who makes videos about vintage inks or someone who collects antique office supplies.
So you're creating this whole network of vintage enthusiasts.
Exactly. And suddenly you're not just reaching your own small audience.
Right.
You're tapping into this much wider network of viewers who are already predisposed
to be interested in that kind of content.
Exactly. And the algorithm sees all this activity and it's like, hey, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
And it starts to recommend your videos to an even wider audience.
So you're really leveraging the power of the collective.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, part of the appeal of YouTube is the potential to go viral.
Of course.
Could this challenge actually help videos go viral?
Absolutely. Think about it. You've got all these creators actively liking, commenting, sharing each other's videos.
Right.
It's a concentrated burst of engagement that can catch the algorithm's attention and really push a video into the spotlight.
It's like a chain reaction.
Exactly. And for a creator who's trying to build a following, that kind of exposure can be huge. Okay, I'm seeing the potential here.
Right. But we also have to talk about the potential downsides.
Right.
You mentioned earlier that there are some things to watch out for.
Yeah. One concern is authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, if creators are just going through the motions, subscribing to channels they don't care about, liking videos without watching them, then it kind of defeats the purpose.
Right. It has to be genuine.
Exactly. The real magic happens when there's genuine connection and engagement.
Okay.
Creators need to be genuinely interested in each other's content, willing to offer thoughtful comments and feedback.
Yeah.
And truly invested in seeing each other succeed. Otherwise, it just becomes a numbers game.
And that's not what we want.
No.
But isn't there also a risk that creators might start to prioritize quantity over quality?
That's another valid concern.
Yeah.
You know, it's tempting to think, if I just make more videos, I'll get more subscribers, more views, more engagement.
Yeah.
But that's not always the best approach.
So it's not about how many videos you make. It's about the quality. Exactly. It's about creating content that's truly engaging, informative, entertaining, whatever your goal is.
Right.
Because ultimately, it's the quality of your content that will keep people coming back.
What about manipulation? Yeah. You know, people can be pretty clever when it comes to gaming the system.
It's true.
Is there a risk that people might try to exploit this challenge?
There's always that risk.
Yeah.
Some people might try to use bots, fake accounts, or other shady tactics to inflate their numbers.
It's like cheating in a game.
Right. But those tactics usually backfire in the long run.
Okay.
The algorithm is getting smarter all the time, and it's pretty good at detecting inauthentic behavior.
So better to just be genuine and focus on building real connections.
Exactly. And, you know, one of the most exciting things about this challenge is how it could level the playing field for niche creators.
Oh, interesting.
We were talking about vintage typewriters earlier.
Yeah.
But there are so many passionate communities out there. People who love knitting, people who are obsessed with bird watching, people who collect antique maps.
It's like the internet is this giant collection of rabbit holes.
Right. And for these niche communities, gaining visibility can be really tough.
Yeah, because their content might be amazing.
It might be.
But it often gets lost in the sheer volume of stuff that's out there.
Exactly. But this challenge gives them a way to amplify their voices, to connect with each other, and to attract a dedicated audience who shares their passion.
Okay, can you give me an example of how this might work?
Sure. Imagine a group of creators who are all passionate about building miniature dollhouses.
Oh.
They join this challenge, they start supporting each other's channels, and suddenly their videos are reaching a much wider audience of fellow miniaturists.
Oh, they've created their own little world within YouTube.
Exactly. And it's not just about the views and subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
It's about fostering a sense of belonging. These niche communities can provide a space for creators to connect with like-minded people, to share their knowledge, to learn from each other, and to celebrate their unique interests.
It's like a virtual clubhouse
Yeah.
for their shared passion.
Precisely. And, you know, the beauty of it is that these communities can be so diverse.
Yeah.
You could have a community dedicated to learning the ukulele, another one focused on collecting vintage postcards, another one all about breeding orchids.
It's amazing to think about all the possibilities.
It really is.
I'm starting to see YouTube not just as a platform for individual creators, but as this interconnected network of communities, each one with its own energy and passion.
I love that way of looking at it. And this challenge is helping to cultivate those connections,
Okay.
fostering a sense of collaboration and support that I think is really inspiring.
Okay, this is all really exciting.
Yeah.
But let's zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture.
Yeah.
This challenge isn't just about YouTube, is it?
No, it's not. It's part of a larger shift that's happening online.
Okay.
We're talking about a fundamental change in the way we think about success online. Traditionally, the internet has been seen as this hyper-competitive space.
Right, it's like a digital battle royale.
Exactly. But this challenge is pushing back against that idea. It's promoting a more collaborative approach where creators realize they can achieve more by working together.
So it's not about tearing each other down, it's about lifting each other up.
Exactly. And this shift towards collaboration isn't limited to YouTube. We're seeing it across all sorts of online platforms.
So this challenge is like a microcosm of a larger trend towards collaboration.
That's a great way to put it.
It's like people are realizing that even in the digital world, we're stronger together.
Absolutely. It's about understanding that a rising tide lifts all boats. that by supporting each other, we can all achieve greater success. And, I think a big part of that is remembering the importance of gratitude.
Oh, that's such a good point. It's easy to get caught up in the numbers game, but ultimately it's the connections that really matter.
It really is. And one of the things I love about this challenge is that it encourages creators to express gratitude for the support they receive. It's about acknowledging the value of those likes, those comments, those subscriptions, those shares, and recognizing that those small acts of kindness can have a huge impact.
So it's not just about taking, it's about giving back.
Exactly. And that spirit of reciprocity is what makes this so special. It's a two-way exchange of support, encouragement, and inspiration.
I love that. It's like this movement.
It is a movement.
Towards a more collaborative, supportive, and gratitude-filled online world.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay. I'm feeling really inspired by this conversation.
Me too.
But we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
Why don't we take a break here and come back to explore some of the long-term implications in part 3?
Sounds good to me. We'll delve into the potential challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Awesome. I can't wait. All right. So we've talked about the potential of this challenge and some of the things to watch out for.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious about the long game here.
Okay.
What happens if this collaborative spirit actually takes hold? Could it actually change YouTube?
If this goes beyond just a trend, I think it could lead to a YouTube that's much more diverse and inclusive.
Okay, so instead of just the same big names dominating all the time.
Yeah, imagine a platform where creators of all sizes and backgrounds have a real chance to be seen and heard.
That would be amazing.
Right. It would be like going from a monoculture field to a thriving rainforest.
I love that analogy.
And that diversity wouldn't just benefit creators, it would make YouTube a much richer experience for viewers, too.
Yeah, because who wants to just see the same thing over and over again?
Right. Variety is the spice of life.
But beyond just having more voices, wouldn't this also push the quality of content higher?
Absolutely. When creators are part of a supportive community, they're more likely to get constructive feedback and inspiration from each other.
It's like having a built-in team of collaborators.
Exactly. And that can push everyone to up their game and create even more compelling content.
Okay, so it becomes less about competition and more about collaboration.
Yeah, everyone working together to make something great.
But here's the big question. Is this sustainable?
That's a good one.
I mean, the online world moves so fast, trends come and go. Algorithms change.
Right.
How do we make sure this isn't just a flash in the pan?
Well, for this to have a lasting impact, it needs to become more than just a challenge. It needs to be woven into the fabric of YouTube's culture.
Okay.
And I think that starts with education.
Okay.
Creators need to understand the potential benefits of collaboration and how to participate in a way that's authentic and effective.
So it's not enough to just say, subscribe to my channel.
Right. You have to be genuinely invested in the community and in supporting other creators.
But YouTube itself could also play a role here, couldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They could create resources, tutorials, maybe even dedicated spaces within the platform specifically for collaborative projects.
Like what if they highlighted collaborations on their trending page or in their algorithm?
Exactly. That would send a strong signal that they're serious about supporting this kind of community spirit.
But ultimately, it's up to creators to take ownership as well, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Creators need to be proactive about seeking out collaborations, building relationships with each other, and championing this movement.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think there's a real opportunity for some creators to become leaders in this space.
Interesting. How so?
They could share their experiences, their strategies, and inspire others to join the movement.
So they become like ambassadors of collaboration.
Exactly. And if enough creators get on board, who knows?
Really?
Maybe we'll start to see YouTube itself adapting and evolving to better support this kind of community-driven content creation.
That would be incredible. Like, what if algorithm updates started rewarding collaborative content?
Right. Or if YouTube built new features specifically for connecting creators.
It would be a real testament to the power of collective action.
Absolutely. Creators actually shaping the platform they use.
I love it. And this wouldn't just be limited to YouTube, would it?
No, not at all. This could have ripple effects across the entire online world.
Oh.
Even spilling over into offline collaborations. It's about changing our mindset, moving away from the idea that success is a zero-sum game.
And realizing that we can all achieve more when we work together.
Exactly.
Okay, I am so on board with this vision. It's ambitious,
It is.
but it feels achievable. Especially when you consider how many creators are already embracing this collaborative spirit.
And the beautiful thing is it's not just about the numbers.
Right.
It's about building something bigger, something more meaningful. It's about this human connection. It's about supporting each other's creative journeys and about making the online world a more positive and collaborative space.
This deep dive has been so inspiring.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm really excited about the possibilities here. So to everyone listening, my takeaway is this. Don't be afraid to reach out, connect with other creators, and explore the power of collaboration.
Yeah, that's great advice.
You might just be surprised by what you can achieve together. And that's a wrap on this deep dive. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying, and remember, we're all in this together.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.